Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream today. We are back on LMU and we have a one-off race this evening. Once again back with SROL. We have the 2 hours of Sebring coming up. We're in the Hypercars class, running the Porsche 963. We've got, I believe, 14 Hypercars, 15 GT3s. So it should make for a good fun race. Sebring, ever so challenging enough, let alone with the new Hypercar tyres. It is extra challenging with them, I must admit. It's going to be interesting, this one. Going to be curious to see where I am pace-wise in this one. Sebring certainly feels much more difficult than Spa or especially the Mon in the few races we've done so far on the tyres. Let us switch over. Welcome. This isn't me you've been listening to. This is just Bailey's on board I've had. So if you've not been in silence, I am down in P9 for this practice session. A little bit of time in the lap, could be P8, but yeah, well, like 15 thousandths behind the Aston. But yes, struggling is certainly the way to put it. It is fixed setup, and the way I would describe the Porsche's fixed setup is it feels like an esports setup. It's very easy to get the rear end to let go on you with this Porsche. Certainly, it has good front end, but the rear will snap away from you quite easily. So, yeah, that is my main struggle. It is on. We can't change it, of course, but it is max rear wing, the default setup. So, yeah, that is quite interesting. I'm not sure if we're going to have time for 6 laps in qualifying. It's 10-minute qualifying session that we're about to get into right now. Private, of course. So let us head on out then for qualifying. Light should go green at the end of pit lane here before we get there. Yeah, because we have to travel a whole length of pit lane and a little bit more from the tents that make up the garages here at Sebring for the WC, of course. All the traction controls to accelerate out of the pits. Yeah, that's how easy. Just slight turn into sunset and the rear end's like, yeah, I'd like to spin, please. Go be very important. We have limited tires. I forgot about the limited tires, to be honest. Oh, and that's one of them gone already. That's not ideal. I'm just gonna put a new one on here and keep the rest as is. Down to 5 laps of, don't tag the inside barrier. It has been a great start to qualifying. The annoying thing for that, of course, is one less lap in the stint. It's only really the final lap. It does take a while to get the tires up to temperature, especially the cooler temps. Track only 19 degrees at the moment, 21 ambient. It's going to take a little while to get the tires up to temperature. Funny how we keep the temperature in the sort of worn tires that we had there. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, these cars absolutely brutal on cold tyres now. Especially with all the bumps of Sebring. The times we're seeing from these outlaps, probably about 15 seconds slower than what we're expecting race pace. Or sort of quali and race pace. So these laps not representative in the slightest. Especially since what we had an extra 10 degrees in 3 of our tires. And we still can go to the top of the timesheets. You can see immediately second lap, alright, 10 seconds up. And there's still seconds to find on that. A little bit wide there, 3T1. Careful of that inside curb. little bit of front right locking. Two laps left in this quali session. Nearly 1.5 seconds up, just sunset to go. We're still about a second off the top time. Find a little over a tenth in sunset. Puts us up to P7. Find a little bit of time at the right-hander there. Currently sitting in P9. Oh, I just had a wee snatch of a tyre. Oh, snatched the front right there slightly. As time's just sort of disappeared. Last few moments. Find a little bit more time in sunset. But yeah, just those couple of little mistakes did not do us any good. Just snatching tyres in braking zones, not ever so slightly, not bad enough to really sort of damage the tyres, but yeah, just enough to hold us back lap time wise. So yeah, P9, very competitive field, I must say.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Oh, we don't have a lot of time. Might as well put a new set of tyres on. I don't think with how sort of how long it takes to get tires up temperature, I think we'll be trying to avoid um trying to avoid taking new tires. Three different manufacturers in the top three of GT3, and four different manufacturers in the top four for Hypercar. Yeah, this should be interesting. Main thing will be just don't die. um, don't die. These cars are so difficult. In the practice session, we've seen so many mistakes.
Formation lap has started.
So yeah, that'll be the key thing. Thankfully, don't have to deal with stone cold tires here for the start. But of course, a lot of cars around us. Now, last thing we want to do is make a mistake that then, ruins someone else's race. Waiting for the green light now.
Green flag, green flag.
A little bit of a better start than the car directly on our right hand side. There's an instant there. That's annoying. Thankfully, it's only body damage. Wasn't sure if that fry was going to give me the space there. And it's not exactly like I could just cut through the line of traffic. Yeah, not a good start to the race, obviously. But I have to imagine there's going to be a lot of mistakes throughout this race. And you never know what will happen with traffic. can see the Hypercar field not too far in front of us. Slightly locking the front right there. We need to go at least 10 laps into the race to be able to make it to the end safely. First death at sunset. Barely a full second quicker than us last lap, I'm not too surprised. Already got one DNF. Just snatching the front left fairly briefly there. A little late on the brakes, running deep into the corner. Bailey's passed the struggling Lambo after their sunset incident. someone else had an issue. Brief yellow flag. Apex in there somewhere. And yeah, car has lost time. It's a Peugeot. Lovely line through sunset there. Little luck there, but again, not doing too badly. And the front right, I think, is one of the least worn tyres, so, you know, a little bit extra tyre wear on it, I don't think it's going to hurt at all. You know, it's not going through the car into bad understeer. This is going to become a three-way fight, I think, judging by just how the gaps are closing. He made a small mistake, he's dropped back a bit. Aston ran it in deep. Aston not finding that one too hard. Now we can go chasing after the Peugeot in front, whose lap times aren't too bad. Only a tenth slower than us last lap. I don't know if the understeer I'm struggling with in the final corner is from the damage. Or if I'm just driving badly. Oh, Billy's dropped back a lot further. Over 10 seconds back now. So he's made a bigger mistake. We're about to get into GT3 traffic very soon as well. Got a yellow flag. Lamborghini's into the pits, because we are getting to that point of you can pit now and make it to the end of the race. Oh, two to go into the wall there. On the outside of Sunset. They're definitely going to have front bodywork damage. Might even have suspension damage. Another yellow flag. There's a car parked there somewhere. Just having to follow the Toyota through the traffic. Get the move done on the Toyota. Felt like I was early on the brakes there. Trying to take it easy, but still had a bit of a lock up. Closing up on that Peugeot there got me a little bit worried. Well, we're clear of traffic now. So it can just be a straight fight now. Oh, Peugeot's. The Peugeot ran it. Really ran it in a bit deep, lost the rear end, and then I tried not to hit them, also lost the rear end. That's kind of funny. A little bit annoying it drops us back, but yeah, kind of funny. And that shouldn't have done too much damage to the tyres. Wasn't egregiously high speed, wasn't a big slide. Just kind of funny. Oh, Bailey's had a moment. Bailey's into the pits. Which is a very interesting time to pit now that he's just got to the front of the GT3 field. Bailey might be repairing damage. Well, there's the Peugeot spinning again. So we have 15 laps left in the stint. Will the tyres go to the end? That is a question. I think they will. They'll not be in a good condition, but I think they will get to the end. I mean, new tyres are going to lose you what, 12 seconds changing them in the pits. And then, what, you lose 15 seconds on the first out lap. So you're probably going to lose 40 seconds getting new tyres into a state where they'll be quicker. Aston had a lock up and still made the corner surprisingly well. We're about halfway through the stint now. With me and the Aston struggling a little bit with locking, and they go for a spin now. They'll not hit the wall, fortunately for them, but that will not have done the tyres any favours. Just noticed the front tires getting a little bit warm. That might not be helping the understeer that I'm starting to feel. We're 49 seconds off the lead of the race. Which isn't too bad when you consider that we've had 2 spins and been stuck in traffic. Now go see if we can catch the Toyota once again. Yeah, Billy spent a long time in the pits. He's 7 seconds in front of us on track here. Personal best from the Toyota. Because it's not looking too bad. Oh, it just clipped the curb. Light tap on the wall. Fortunately, Jessica come out behind the Aston and the Porsche. That shouldn't have done too much damage. Shouldn't have been too detrimental. Alpine is back in the pits. And I didn't see a penalty for them. I mean, maybe they did get one and I just didn't see it. Or maybe they had a crash on their right lap. Very possible, especially if they did decide to change tyres. Peugeot's coming in now. lock up for the Aston, puts him on a bad line. Thinking about move to the inside there. Just made them doubt whether they wanted to turn in or not, ran them a bit wide. Both of us snatching the inside front just as we get to the hairpin. Aston has good drive out of the corners, good acceleration. That's the third car. Well, not technically third car, they spun in front of me that previous time I came to pass them. I probably could have avoided that if I just didn't get on the brakes and instead just put more steering lock on. But you have to do one or the other. You can't apply the brakes and put steering lock on, otherwise you'll just lock the fronts and that would have been even bigger, even heavier crash. So we're into P8. 19 seconds behind the Toyota now, and a bit of an energy deficit. They're saving energy and they seem to be doing a good job at it. Have a GT3 Porsche going slowly. There, we're going to be getting into the GT3 field again soon. New personal best. Only just. We're not even 35 minutes into this race yet. Still a long way to go. Yellow flag. Porsche's had a spin here. Or Aston, sorry. That's a good braking zone. Oh, the fry followed me a little bit wide. I just didn't quite hit the brakes hard enough at the start of the braking zone. So it's carrying too much speed by the end of it. going for a brave move around the outside of T1. I was hesitant to make that move. But I thought, what's the worst that can happen? Maybe not the best best reason to go for a move, but it ended up just fine. Oh, no. There's suspension damage. Just locked the rear brakes ever so slightly. Go to repair it. Hopefully that... oh, that rear right tire. Oh, that's not great. Damage 45 seconds. Oh, that's not ideal. We're going to be in GT3 traffic as well. I don't think we're quite going to beat this group. If anything, we're going to be in the middle of it. There is a bit of a flat spot too. It's not too bad. Obviously not ideal to have a flat spot at all. Aston is in the pits. They've just got to pit exit now. I wonder if they have new tyres on. If they have new tyres, we're going to get straight past them. They might have new tyres on. We should pull away like 10 seconds this lap if they do. Oh, that's that rear tire struggling. Which isn't good because now I've just put another couple of percent on it. Yeah, it's cool tires for the Aston. You can just tell from the acceleration difference. I've had a second DNF, BMW now. That's too quick into T1. Second half of this race is gonna be tough. BMW running in very deep. They might be on cool tires. They're not long out of the pits. Ibex in there somewhere. I think we are slowly gaining on the Peugeot in front, but it is slowly. Whether or not we'll actually catch them is a tough question. We do have an energy advantage over them. It's maybe about 7 seconds in the pit stop. But we do have some GT3 traffic to get through. I've got an Alpine behind me. Yeah, they're running quite a bit quicker than I am. Also a lap down on us, so no point in fighting this one. Just gonna make it easy for them. Few cars in the pits. Don't hit the inside wall. That's a really bad line. But that Alpine's gone jumping in the runoff. just by getting in front of that Porsche. Oh, we're just off the lead lap. Leader 8 seconds in front of us. That Mercedes has a little bit of a ping issue. That's not how you take that right-hander. Just getting caught out in the brakes. Porsche friend is in the pits. In the pits for quite a while. That is damage repair for how long they've been sitting there. It's more than just a tire change. Of course, their final pit stop is going to be like 17 seconds shorter than ours. Yeah, but they will have to make a splash and dash. Halfway through the race, still 1/2 to go. GT3 that we're just about to pass here. It's the fastest lap in the GT3 class last lap. I have a feeling they took new tyres then at their pit stop. Or they might not have. Oh yeah, maybe they did 5 laps ago. So the race is a little bit lonely at this point. But still, you know, I'd say we're far from knowing where we'll finish. You know, we could maybe close up on a couple of cars in front of us. Cars behind us could be in a position to get past us. So if we want to go and grab any positions in front, we do need to try and show some good pace. Oh, a little lock up there's gone to the right-hander. Did well to get the car back under control, not lose too much time. First time going for an outside move around sunset, and don't think it was a move. Despite hitting the brakes earlier there, that bump just at the start of the braking zone means you don't end up getting stopped any sooner. We're getting to the point now where you can make your final pit stop and run to the end of the race. Too wide. Thought there, the leader of the race is not going to be an easy car to go around the outside of. Sun is starting to get lower in the sky. We should see a full sunset here, as we would in the 12 hours of Sebring, or in the real life 12 hours of Sebring, I should say. I feel like the flat spot has actually improved a little bit throughout this stint. It's sort of rounded off a little bit. Okay, and the rear just started to rotate there with a little bit of locking. Got an Alpine catching up to us. Need the Alpine to close up a little bit more. Oh, really struggling with the braking there. Oh, I just had, again, a little bit of rear locking. Oh, this is a fight for position. A Lambo that's just come out of the pits. I think they're on cold tyres because I was cautious on the brakes there and we just got through. Aston just caught them at the wrong time and they weren't leaving a space open to go for a move. Billy into the pits. Lambo's starting to pick up the pace again. Now they've made their final pit stop, so not much point in me fighting or holding them up. Since moving the brake bias forward a little bit, definitely find a little bit more consistency in the braking zones. Not having that little bit of rear locking that was really throwing the car off. Lambo behind had a little moment. That's what the yellow flag was for. Sure it is, into the pits. Wouldn't have expected them to come into the pits so soon. They'll reserve the Delta since we're not going to be getting anywhere close to it with these old tyres. I wasn't sure what line that BMW was taking for a moment. I was like, oh, I'll cut back on them. And then it felt like they were on a tight line, so it's like, are they wanting me to go outside? And then it's like, you know what, like, instead, I'll just commit to the grass, because that's one place they'll definitely not be. Just to guarantee there wasn't an incident. I said, just that Lambo through, run myself a little bit wide. Not been a good couple of laps, or a good lap for sure. Be nice if we could get a tyre off taken off at the next pit stop. Screen is getting pretty dirty. Front end just sort of sliding a bit into sunset. 5 laps till we pit. We should start setting up our pit strategy. Car stepped out a little bit as I went to turn in. Got another Lamborghini behind us. Up to P7, but of course we'll be pitting in less than 3 laps time. Yeah, 58% is pretty much what I'm calculating in my head to get to the end. And the fact that the game agrees with me is a little bit concerning. Usually the game isn't quite accurate on how much you need to put in. That wasn't a nice moment. Car just starting to slide in T1. Oh, Lamborghini went to the escape route. The old layout of Sebring. Could make it 62 just to be safe. To be extra safe. Into the pits then for the final time. Well, hopefully final time. Less than 30 minutes remain. 25-second pit stop. We'll lose 2 places. Oh, down. The Aston's DNF'd. We'll fall down into P9 as said. The Aston's DNF'd. Oh, and the Porsche DNF'd as well. Oh, so we're going to be last of the cars running. Who knows? Maybe someone else will DNF in the final. Final 28 minutes. I mean, we're pretty much hoping on someone DNFing to really make up any places. Because we're going to be, about 30-odd seconds back from the next car. And, well, we are a little bit quicker than them. We're not that much quicker. Was not a big fan of that fry coming towards the middle of the track. So that makes 5 DNFs this race in Hypercar class. And looking at the track map, it's only the Hypercars that have retired. Let's go a little bit more forward on the brake bias, shall we? After that moment. Somehow the rear left is less worn than the front left. That I'm surprised by. Gotta be careful through the left-handers with just how worn the rear right tire is, especially compared to the front right. Oh, that was a late lock-up just on a bump. Oh, the Porsche in front's had an issue. They've lost 10 seconds. Close down a lot more to the Porsche by another 10 seconds. I wonder if they have heavy damage. Do you have a little bit of chance at P8? Peugeot's not pitting. Yeah, tires are getting more and more worn. Can't carry quite as much speed through that right-hander as it was. Scraping along the curb like that isn't good. .4 seconds quicker. We can maybe do this. Ten seconds is the gap. And they're about to lose a little bit of time letting the Alpine through that's coming up to lap them, which they've just done now. Just snatching the front right. Two and a half seconds gained that lap. But of course, as I said, they would have lost time under blue flags. And they're getting into GT3 traffic now. Well, the rear end just started to go as I tried to put the power down. I don't know if the car was going to spin, but I just sort of went to catch it anyway, just in case. Might have been a little bit of an overcorrection. Certainly lost us a little bit of time this lap. .6 seconds gained. We're going to get into the GT3 traffic this lap. Appreciate the fry, just I'm gonna go round. I just snatched all 4 tires. That lost me 3 seconds. Probably because I only committed so late. Yeah, I just snatched both front tires. Yeah, I think the front left suffered a little bit there. And then we lost even more time with the GT3 Ferrari. Oh, there they are. In the wall at sunset. Puts us up to P8, but unfortunately brings an early and anticlimactic end to that battle. The BMW closes up in the braking zone. Fair chance they have nearer tires than I do. Of course, the ABS will be really helpful in these bumpy braking zones. Four GT3s, sorry, here in a line. I was thinking of going to the inside of the Mustang there, but the gap space wasn't there. Turn the hybrid up. Battery is almost full. Oh, suddenly Billy's arrived. Billy recovered all the way up to P4. Oh, and the Peugeot's DNF'd now too. 6th retirement of the race. Six minutes left in the race. There'll be 4 laps to go when we get to the line. Yeah, I think the Toyota in front of us took tyres at some point during the race, so fresher tyres have more pace than us. Let's brave around the outside. Yeah, time's certainly starting to go. Oh. I would like to not DNF, but I don't think I'm gonna get back with only one rear tire. It might be possible. I mean, it's a long way to go. I'm not sure we'd even get to the finish in time. Part of me is like, oh, cut to the right. I'll try. But it's gonna be unlikely. Yeah, we've got a minute to get back to the pits, and we're doing about 20 kilometers per hour. I don't know what would be quicker. To just carry on to the finish like this. Or to actually pull into the pits, put a new tyre on, and then go to the finish. Oh, we're getting near 30 kilometers an hour. What if I turn traction control off? Will that get me a little more speed? Leader has just finished. Oh, the leader's gonna try and push me. It's helping. Might as well go onto the track since everyone behind us is finished now. I don't have a rear left tire though. There's actually a rule in the rule books for this series that you're not allowed to push anyone that has ran out of fuel or virtual energy. Not the case, technically. Right, we're through. Now what we do is cut. We're gonna do it! There's the finish. There we go, across the line. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. We finished P8. We finished P8. Yeah, the rear right just a little too worn, and yeah, the rear getting away from me on that final lap. There goes the server. Could look through the replay, but I'm not too fussed at the moment. Yeah, that's a tricky race. Really tricky. Really struggled. Um, I'm not sure I can count that as finishing. We finished technically, but I'm not sure I can count it personally. I did bin the car. We were just crawling around, and we weren't going to make it if it wasn't for the assistance. So yeah. Um, yeah. I think yeah. These tires, very certainly a challenge, especially a track like Sebring. Some more learning. The Porsche was quite twitchy. I was surprised at how twitchy. Usually the default setups are kind of like front limited. They understeer. The Porsche wasn't. It oversteered. It was rear limited, which yeah, it was tricky, especially over the bumps and with cold tires. But yeah, otherwise it was fun. Um, yeah, gonna need to spend a bit more time learning these new tires. However, that's good it for today's stream. Thank you very much to those that popped in and were lurking, or those watching the VOD back. Hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, I will hopefully see you tomorrow for GTEs versus LMP3s, where we're also going to be here at Sebring. Hopefully, it goes a little bit better. But yeah, until then, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. I should actually have the I'm doing some ready, shouldn't I? Yep, there we go. Bye bye.